Assalamualaikum family, peace. It's June 22nd, man, 2019. It's my birthday today. Uh, man, it feels good. A year ago today, we started the Basement Tape series. Uh, and so here we are a year later. I want to thank you and let you know I appreciate you because you guys been rocking with me for a year as I've been dropping this Basement Tape series. Without you, none of this would have been without you, none of this would have been possible. I would have just been in my room rapping to myself, making beats to myself. But you all have helped me bring what I envisioned into fruition, and now we here. So a year later, this is the last Basement Tape. I got some announcements later. You know I'm about to speak and talk, so if you want to just get right into the music, go ahead and fast forward this. But yeah, so I got some big things happening in my life that I want to share with you. And hopefully, man, we can, you all can come along for the ride. But at any rate, this is the last Basement Tape. Um, and It's called The Spirit of Ermias Asghedom. And if you don't know who Ermias Asghedom is, that's to the rest of us, he's known as Nipsey Hussle. And I entitled this The Spirit of Nipsey because, as you know, it's my last Basement Tape. I spoke on my perspective on my brother's murder. And almost a month later, to the day that my brother was murdered, Nipsey was murdered. And they were two influential people in my life. That kind of helped me on this projection that I'm on today in terms of doing music and how I'm doing it and where I'm going in the future. And by the way, I want to thank everybody for supporting that video and looking at that video and sharing their commentary on it and allowing me to get that off my chest and address that situation for me. I just needed to get my thoughts off. And so, of course, it didn't make everyone happy. There was some negative backlash from it, but I even appreciate those perspectives. But at any rate, I was really affected by Nipsey's murder because he was like a brother to me in the virtual sense of he co-signed a lot of my ideas in terms of as it relates to music. You know, I would talk to my peers about how I wanted to do music on a business level, and they had more traditional ideas, you know, record label type things or whatever the case may be, or streaming and all those other things. But I would defer to Nipsey's interviews and be like, man, that's exactly how I be thinking. That's exactly what I want to do. That's exactly when I get some bread, I want to do this and do that. And so him and another artist named Immortal Technique really put a battery in my back to go really pursue my music. So in 2015, I was the dean of students for CPS, and I resigned with no money saved, no nothing. I just knew I wasn't going back to that gig, and I resigned on my birthday. And I jumped out the window on fire, no parachute, and it was like, I'm gonna do my music, and realized like, shit, I still gotta buy diapers. What was I thinking? And so, but that was a long road, and so here we are years later, and I'm doing this, and I've learned how to kind of so-called engineer and put my own music out, produce my own beats, and just bring you content. And so I learned that by going to school and different things like that. But Nipsey Hussle and Immortal Technique were very instrumental in giving me the idea that I could make it, that I could do this. And as a man, I related to him so much on a level, on his principles. I never really even listened to his music. You know, I would hear it in the interviews, but I was so attracted to him from a mental standpoint that, man, anything he was dropping, I was trying to soak up. He was giving so much game. And so I was at work one day and I was praying to Allah. This was in the beginning of Ramadan. And I was like, man, Allah, help me to tap into that spirit of Nipsey. Like what made him such a soldier and made him such a iconic individual, or such a individual that had such impact on the world, what is that about that? Let me tap into that. Let me tap into that energy. And so up until that point, I hadn't watched his funeral. I just couldn't, dealing with my brother's situation and him. I just couldn't watch it. And so eventually I watched it, but I started writing. And I was writing I wanted to tap into his consciousness. Like, man, how would he do this? Not mimic him, but like tap into his energy. And so I wrote this first verse. And when I wrote it, I was like, ooh. So when I watched the funeral, I only wanted to see two perspectives. I wanted to see a perspective from his older brother, and Lauren London, his lady. I wanted to see what they had to say about him. Me just losing my brother, I wanted to see what his older brother had to say about him, because they were very, very close, and Nip was always talking about his brother. And so after I heard his brother speak, it bared witness to what I said in my verse. And I hadn't even seen the funeral, right? So I felt it was a lot kind of co-signing the fact that I was tapping into that energy. Long story short, I've been trying to put this out forever. In the beginning of Ramadan, which was in the beginning of June, right? And I wrote the second verse, but I lost the second verse several times. My phone used to tweak. The screen totally went out. I lost all my songs in my phone because I was putting them in my notes. I lost it. And so I had to rewrite the second verse over and over again. And so this is what I rewrote about a week ago. And so I finally completed it. But like I said, Nipsey was really instrumental in bringing me to this point of starting a business and creating my own infrastructure where I can control my content and my narrative and different things like that. And so that's the trajectory I've been on. And so he and Clinton, in my mind, supported my ideas. Like, I could go to my brother Clinton and be like, man, I want to do this, and I do that. And he authentically would be like, man, that's dope. Let's do it. Yeah, do that. Or you should talk about this, or rhyme over this type of beat. Like, I would send him ideas and he would give me feedback, and he would support. The very first time I did a show, he was right there in the front row, man, rocking out. He came all the way from Indianapolis, rocking out. And that was my very first show. And that started me where I am today. And I got another show next Sunday. And it's kind of crazy that if I called him and told him, man, he would be there. And Nipsey was there for me mentally when I had ideas that nobody co-signed. Like, nobody was like, nah, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But he was doing it. And so, man, their deaths have given me so much life and so much vigor in terms of the marathon continues. You still got to keep living and keep going and really go after your aspirations and dreams, because this life ain't promised. You know what I'm saying? It could end at this second, in this moment. And that marathon concept, I really could identify with. I've never been a super athlete by no stretch of the imagination. And when I was in school, I didn't have this competitive mindset. I didn't want to try to outdo you or beat you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care that much about none of the sports, right? You did a nice move, I'd be like, damn, son, how you do that? No, I'm supposed to be, But at any rate, I did join cross country. And what I loved about cross country, and when I was a freshman, I ran track. I did the 3200. What I liked about long distance was it was like a mental battle. It was a battle of self. It was the battle of your own weakness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a marathon. It's endurance. It's an endurance game. How long can you survive? How long can you run at this pace? And yeah, you want to beat the other people, but the biggest thing when you running long distance is beating your own self-defeating thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you want to quit. You're getting tired. You're like, shit, I want to stop. Or, man, I can't make it anymore. I can't go further. And it was like, man, I loved that cross country because I would push myself further, and it would just be me in my own head challenging my own weaknesses. And so when Nipsey talked about the marathon, I automatically identified with that and could attach my thinking to his thought process behind that. And so this is just basically, man, something to wrap up the Basement Tapes, to wrap up this year. This very trying year of 2019. This is just something I want to give to you, give to him and his energy. get to Allah to thank him and say, you know, I really appreciate the gifts and talents that he's blessed me with and the life that he's blessed me with. And so this is that. Man, we got some other things coming up for later on today. I'll show you that. I'm starting a new series. So we will no longer do basement tapes, but we're going to elevate the game. We're going to elevate this process. And you're going to see growth within me. And hopefully you see growth in yourself, in your own life. So just stay tuned, and we're going to keep rocking. Assalamu alaikum.
So talk to us a little bit about the transformation your life has made in the last few years, from struggles and hardships to the success and stardom you're going towards now.
Yeah, number one, you know, I just feel better, homie. I sleep better, you know what I mean? I got a level of like, I'm at peace with what I'm doing. I feel good about what I'm waking up doing and about my lifestyle. At one point, I wasn't proud of my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't content with what I was doing on a day-to-day basis. I wasn't happy with that. So it was eating at me. Even though I'd be on the surface, cool and straight, deep down I knew that this wasn't the direction of what I need to be doing. Now I wake up with the feeling that I'm going in the direction that I'm here for. Like what I'm on this planet for, I'm doing it.
Right.
Bigger than just the LA, bigger than some gang banging, bigger than some street shit, just some human shit. I'm doing what I'm here to do, I feel like. So it feel good, and you know, I got a lot of confidence, I got a lot of confirmation from my hard work that is going in the right direction, that I'm doing something right, because you know, like you said, a lot of people starting to gravitate toward the movement and toward the music. So, you know what I mean, I just want to keep working hard, keep doing classic shit, make good music, and you know, hit a grand slam when the album drop.
Yes, the marathon will continue. Without trials, you'll never know what's in you. We lost a soldier, but he left the perfect menu. Control your masses and your money and your milieu. I gave a recipe where everybody eat. Graduate from the street to elite and don't leave. Fuck if they kill you, we all gon' die. Honey, guarantee before you leave, make them feel you. You want bullshit, then your image in my rear view. If you talking business and I'm trying to get near you, fuck your national representative, I know the real you. You see me glowing up and I know that shit kill you. Cause it was never love, you a walking bluff. Say you with me but you never come and double up. You niggas super sensitive and you super huff. You probably sitting there salty like shitty cuz Gon' cut them drums, I just need the violins. Ain't no switching me a line among men. If I take a loss, if I take it on the chin, I'm getting back up and I'm going back in. I know you don't rock with me, don't need to pretend. We definitely ain't brothers, ain't soldiers, ain't friends. I rotate with the gods, FOI squad. We on Farrakhan, new order coming in, talk to him love.
You know, we gotta go. We don't know if we're gonna go at 80, 60, 30, or 20. But the one thing is to make sure when you go the right way. You stand up for what you believe in. You put your money where your mouth is. You never fold. You never let the pressure sway you from doing what you want to do. You never let anything, politics, stop you from coming around and staying around. And I hope everybody knows that that's what bro did. Bro stayed and he died on Crenshaw and Slauson. And everybody who showed love, even the ones who didn't, they've had nothing but love and respect and humbleness. And that's what I want to leave, man. I love him, and I hope I didn't leave anything
If you
out.
a black man and wanna see your people make it, it's only a matter of time before you're assassinated. Either kill your character or leave your body decimated. Little bit success and your own people hate it. Crackers wanna see us depopulated, eliminated. Why you claiming that you woke but you're sitting there sedated? Ain't no wasting time, so I hustle motivated. Eradicate my weakness till my flaws are terminated. God bless the child that gotta get it on his own. Take a dream, plant a seed, work the ground, watch it grow. You may evolve slow from a novice to a pro. Ain't about the destination, what you learn along the road. But quit, never turn, never bend, never fold. Fuck a trend, never blend, rather cut your own mold. When you close your eyes, you gotta be at peace with your soul. Then Allah will give you gold, richest queen in a throne, trust I know. Cut them drums, I just need the violins. Ain't no switching me a line among men. If I take a loss, if I take it on the chin, I'm getting back up and I'm going back in. I know you don't rock with me, don't need to pretend. We definitely ain't brothers, ain't soldiers, ain't friends. I rotate with the gods, FOI squad. We on Farrakhan, new order coming in, talk to him love.
We lost an incredible soul We lost someone very rare to us, and we lost a real one. And we won't ever be the same. But in Hustle's words, because he used to always say this, the game is gonna test you, never fold. Stay 10 toes down. It's not on you, it's in you. And what's in you, they can't take away. And he's in all of us. And to Ermias, the love of my life, you know what it is. Grief is the final act of love. My heart hears you. I feel you everywhere. I'm so grateful that I had you. I love you beyond this earth. And until we meet again, the marathon, continue. 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 Marathon.